there, and thank you so much for joining me. I am back. I had a huge hiatus. Just ended up moving in the last couple months, and so now hopefully I am back and ready to do some card making with you. So this technique that I'm showing you today uses two of my favorite things, watercolors and window sheets. So I have a 4 1/4 by 3 1/4 window sheet, and I traced one of the large sequins from Teresa Collins. I traced it so I can paint a flower onto my window sheet. So what I'm going to do first is just kind of get my supplies set out. I have like a paper towel that I can clean it off on. I've got just a cup of clean water and my watercolors. So I'm just going to pick up some of the watercolor, and when you first start putting it on, it will give you a little bit of a resist. But what you have to just realize is that the more you go over it, the more it will stay in place. So I'm just going to draw some petals. Just like this. And then I'm going to come back and just keep adding a little bit more. Add a little bit more of the watercolor, and use your brush to just kind of push it out to the shape that you want it. One of the fun things about watercolor is that you can mix the colors really easily on this window sheet. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to clean it off a little bit and take a much darker red. It's almost a brown, but I'm going to take that and I'm going to just add a little bit here, and I'm going to let it bleed itself into the flower. That was a little too brown for me, so I'm going to go for a little bit more of a pure red and just bring it back a little bit. It's really just kind of a creative process. You can play with it, and you can even let it dry, and from there can clean it up with just a clean wet brush. You can kind of clean the edges up, or you can layer more color on. I'm going to zoom back out and show you. I'm going to add just this really kind of peachy color in between here. And I'm going to put a sequin at the middle, so it's okay if the middle starts looking a little sloppy. I'm going to let it dry just a minute, and then I'm going to show you how to add some white highlights. Use my spritzer, and I'm going to spritz the white. I want to do that to make sure I don't put too much color in here, and I cleaned my brush really well so it was fresh and clean. And I want this color to be a little thicker, not super watery. And I'm just going to pick a couple of spots that got a little dark and bring a little bit of light back in here. So to assemble your card, I am just going to add an insert on the back here. And then this piece, which is the bottom portion, is 4 1/4 by 7 1/2. Okay, and it's scored at 5 1/2. And then I have a 1 inch section that's 1 inch by 4 1/4. That's going to go at the bottom. So what I'm going to do is just flip this upside down, and I show you how to do this in another video also if you want to look that up. But I'm adding the adhesive to the seam, and that's gonna just allow for a little adhesive to go on both sides. Okay, so you see the adhesive there. So then I'm gonna pull this apart. I'm gonna use this as a guide for where the bottom is gonna line up so that I can make sure it's gonna overlap. Make sure the sides are in line, and then you're going to close this onto there. So the adhesive was on the back. Now this adhesive, I'm going to flip it over. There we go. So that's the basic window sheet card right there. And I'm going to show you how to add the sequin in the middle. You can just use any kind of adhesive dot that you have, and I'm just going to stick that onto the center of my flower. Okay, so to finish off this card, I am just going to wrap around the top. There we go. That little bit of adhesive will just help that stay down. And I'm going to add a sentiment down here. Just going to use Memento ink here. I actually can't find any of my new stamp sets, and I can't find a lot of stuff, so I'm not sure if I didn't bring it with me to this new location that I'm at or what. Okay, so that's the card. I'm not going to say it's finished because I think I want to put like 2 or 3 leaves on. So I'm just going to kind of wing it here. I'm going to add this lime green. I think it's much prettier. So there we go. Thank you for watching, and make sure to subscribe if you want to know when new videos are put out. And then I also have a podcast. If you listen to podcasts, I'm interviewing creative entrepreneurs and talking to them about their creative journey. So thanks for being here, and hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. Bye.